Hello there, Felipe. Sorry, Felipe. Thank you for your kind words. I enjoy giving that feedback, so it's a winning team. Let's go. So, the issue of whether intellectual property laws choke or encourage creativity is a debatable topic in the modern world. Genius. In my opinion, restrictions created by copyright rules and regulations, very good, limit society's economic evolution. Saxon genitive, or limit the economic evolution of a society. Okay, both ways are fine. As I say, we'll discuss this topic discuss this topic further using examples from the sports apparel industry to demonstrate points and support arguments. Genius. Wonderful start. First and foremost, it should never use contractions. Never, ever, ever use contractions in your formal essay writing. Okay? Contractions come from spoken English. That's the only reason they exist. And we're not writing in the spoken English style, we're writing in a formal academic style, so don't use them. It should not be neglected that first and foremost, it should not be neglected that with 7 billion inhabitants, in a 7 billion people world, there will let's go again. First and foremost, it should not be neglected that with a 7 billion inhabitant world, people will probably be developing or inventing similar products or content at the exact same time. Okay, good start, but we could have organized that in a slightly more succinct and clear way. First and foremost, it should not be overlooked that with a population of 7 billion, the chances of somebody developing or inventing similar products or content at the same time is highly likely. Okay, that's how I would have done it. Therefore, denying inventors the possibility to benefit from their creation just because somewhere around the globe there was already a copyright for an almost identical product would be completely unjust. For example, if a small sneakers factory in India visualized, invested and developed and launched, try to keep it to 3. Okay, so if we say visualized, developed and launched, that's just the natural way of doing it. Okay, a new impact absorption system without researching major brands such as Nike, Adidas or New Balance copyrighted systems, that factory would probably be punished if their product infringed any existing patent. Thus it can be argued that copyright laws criminalize creativity. Very good, very good. Okay, small problem there, but nothing serious. Just add it to your error list and let's just make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, then we're improving. Secondly, creativity in fields such as sports apparel has been limited to the richest companies due to the fact that the smaller fear their economic influence. Let's see. Due to the fact that also I would have hedged this. Okay. Secondly, creativity in fields such as sports apparel has mainly been limited to the richest companies due to the fact that the smaller ones fear the economic influence of the larger brothers, maybe, because I'm not so sure here. Fear their economic influence. Fear because the smaller is the last subject in my mind when we're talking about the. Okay, so maybe it's not crystal clear whether this "the" refers to the companies or the smaller. Okay, so maybe you want to organize that sentence so there is absolutely no possibility of misinterpreting it. Okay, for example, in 2004, a Brazilian sports brand abandoned their most recent sneaker technology after one of the larger brands, don't use words like big, good, small, bad, okay, because they're basic vocabulary. One of the larger brands, one of the world-renowned brands, one of the world-famous brands, we don't have to say which name was, demanded copyrights demanded, no, not demanded. I think if it's anything like Spanish, demanded is used incorrectly. Let's just see. The most recent signature after one of the world's largest brands claimed, that's the one we wanted, claimed copyright infringement. Okay, topic specific vocabulary, infringement, copyright infringement. Okay, furthermore, intellectual property rules and regulations demand the conduction of huge research. No, often require, okay, more hedging, often require large amounts of research, which usually smaller players cannot afford, and consequently this worsens their competitiveness. Okay, so we had to reorganize that as well, just to what do you call it, just to improve the clarity, that's all. Good work though. To conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I strongly believe that copyright laws not only lessen and criminalize creativity, but they also harm society by limiting competition. Hopefully, global bodies such as the WTO will seek to remedy this situation, or creativity could end in a slump, or could end up in a slump, or could something like that. Just a general sentence about the future, okay, and maybe a small prediction, more than anything just to use a different tense and pick up some points for using a range of grammatical structures, okay, especially when it's a one sentence conclusion. Okay, we can just add a little bit more on there. Also, Felipe, I hope you're doing these in 40 minutes, okay? I hope you're doing these ones in 40 and these ones in 20. The bar chart compares 4 calorie sources: dairy, meat, pulses and vegetables consumed by UK males in 3 life periods. It can be clearly seen that, okay, right then. Now, this sentence, okay, which is basically your summary of what's on the graph, stick it at the end and put overall. It can be clearly seen that in each age group there is a different main source of calories. In all groups shown, the secondary sources are considerably less representative. Good. Okay, not bad. Put that as your summary, and there we're going to show in a clear fashion to the examiner that we've structured it. Okay, and we'll get points for cohesion and coherence. Dairy represents the largest portion for those ranging from birth to 24, with over 40% of the total intake. This source drops consistently in the subsequent age groups, reaching a low of about 15% in the oldest group shown. Very good. Meat is the greatest, no, is the greatest source. I wouldn't have used great. Meat is the largest, or the most significant source for those between 25 and 49, whereas pulses represent the highest percentage amongst people over 50 years old. Good. We can even say amongst those over 50 years old. Okay. Meat percentage starts at only 20% for the youngest, surging to half of the total amount for those aged 25 to 49, or for those in the 25 to 49 year old life. 25 to 49 year group would have been fine, and goes back to the initial figure in the over 50s group. Genius. Though pulses are not a representative intake source in the first 2 life periods, it leaps to over 60% for in the final group. Fantastic. Overall, it can be clearly seen, blah blah blah. Okay, you're doing fantastic there, Felipe. Keep going. Now you know the score. You implement all the corrections from these ones, make a list of all the mistakes made, add them to your error list, and the next essays you write, you check them against your error list, looking for mistakes you've made previously, and you can pick up about 5 to 10% extra points there, so do it, and it's definitely worthwhile. Also, now you've got 2 more essays to write, so let's keep going. Let's try and get the next batch back in 24 hours so we can build on the improvement and faster, get into a faster feedback loop, and let's carry on improving. You're doing well, Felipe.